I hadn't worn a name tag in 17 years. The cheap sticker they gave me tonight, peeled at the corners, clinging to my suit, like an insult that wouldn't fall off. "Staff entrance, sir," said the guard, not even glancing at me. I nodded, adjusted the cuffs Rachel never noticed, even the day I surprised her with the matching necklace. I walked past the ballroom doors, brushing velvet curtains under chandeliers that dripped like glass rain. I turned into a white corridor, staff passing, with trays of fizz and gold-wrapped bites. That's when I heard it. "Don't worry," I stuck Rachel's awkward husband in the back where no one has to see him. Serena's voice, her sister. The laugh that followed was loud, not from joy, but for effect. I paused by the swinging door, long enough to see them toast. My wife didn't flinch, didn't speak. She just smiled, that hollow, automatic smile she saves for chauffeurs and photographers. Polished, soulless. I walked into the kitchen and took the seat they assigned me, next to the dishwasher's son, who reeked of fryer grease and shame. I said nothing. You don't build empires by reacting. You study. You plan. You wait. I first noticed the silence 6 months ago. Rachel began turning her back in bed, said she was exhausted. Headaches. Work stress. I let it go. I always let things go, until I see the pattern. Then came the Fridays. Dinner with Serena. Same restaurant. Same corner table. 2 glasses. 2 desserts. But Serena's stories online never matched the settings. Different cities. Different outfits. I asked once, lightly, "You two go to Mavero every week?" She hesitated. "Sometimes we switch." That pause was all I needed. Not what she said, how she said it. A stillness in her mouth, a stiffness in her eyes. I'd seen that look before, on board members seconds before collapse. Then, 2 weeks ago, an 11:43 p.m. call. She thought I was asleep. I wasn't. A man's voice, muffled, close. She crept barefoot onto the balcony, whispers curling into the dark. I didn't move, didn't breathe. Not fear, not shock, recognition. I started simple. Her texts, locked. Photos, passcoded. New PIN, amateur. I mirrored her phone from backup. Took 20 minutes. First thing I saw, a message from Serena. "Does he know?" Her reply, "Please. He's obsessed with work." They were clever, not intelligent. It wasn't Serena's fiancé. That was their cover. It was Serena herself. My wife was sleeping with her sister. Their texts danced in code. Private jokes, cryptic photos, cropped scenes that told full stories. Once you saw the rest. Hotel confirmations, flight receipts, shared Ubers. It didn't require work. The puzzle assembled itself. They thought I was blind. They thought I was weak. But I had the one thing they never did. Patience. That night I smiled. Not because it was funny. Because the truth was no longer a guess. It was a weapon. I printed everything. Bound it neatly. No theatrics. Just evidence. She came home late after the CARLTON gala, tasting of wine and false affection. I handed her the folder. No words. Just held her gaze. She took it like it was junk mail. Then she opened it. Her face folded in slow collapse. Pages spilled from her hands, like dying butterflies. She didn't cry, didn't lie, didn't plead. Just one question. "How long have you known?" I answered calmly. Long enough to end it my way. 2 days later, I invited Serena to my office, told her I wanted to discuss her wedding sponsorship, PR, exposure. She arrived in heels and arrogance. I handed her a manila envelope. Inside, photos, messages, a signed non-disclosure, and a document from Rachel, forfeiting all claims to our assets. In return for silence, Serena's lips moved soundlessly. Rachel signed this. I leaned back, She didn't have a choice. The prenup's adultery clause sealed that. She blinked. I walked to the window. Your wedding's still on, I said. Just not on my dime. She stood frozen. I loved her, she said. I tamed, level. No. You used her. Like she used me. The difference. I can afford betrayal. I pointed to the door. You can't. Rachel moved out the next morning. She left the necklace from our 5th anniversary on the counter. I dropped it into the trash. There's a stillness after fire. Not peace. Not healing. Ash. Now, when people ask why I'm divorced, I just say irreconcilable differences. No one needs to know. The difference was truth. And I don't lose to lies. Not anymore.